Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah, I'd like a hot dog all the way, please.
Coming up. Here you go.
Thank you. Ew. What is this?
That's a corn-based hot dog flavored tube-shaped thing. It's almost good. That'll be $4.50.
You know what? No thanks.
If almost good enough isn't good enough for you, why would it be good enough for your pet? Add Kennel Kelp to your furry friend's diet. Sprinkled on your pet's food, Kennel Kelp helps with arthritis pain and stiff joints. It can also reduce shedding, fill in missing areas, and improve their looks. Healthy pets show even more energy and have better attitudes. See results in 4 to 8 weeks. The good news is, Kennel Kelp isn't just for pets. It's good for you, too. Sprinkle it on your cereal, or use it instead of table salt when seasoning your food. Kennel Kelp is the holistic care solution for pets and their people. Safe for dogs, cats, birds, cows, chickens, reptiles, almost anything that walks, flies, or slithers. It's a holistic health solution for humans, too. To learn about their many products, visit kennelkelp.com. Get Kennel Kelp for a happier, healthier life.
Dog lovers, get the Liberty Wristband, the clever new hands-free way to keep your dog on a leash. Forget holding onto leashes or wrapping them around your wrist. The Liberty Wristband special clip lets you hook your dog's leash to your wrist for complete control while leaving your hands free. Carry your coffee, talk on the phone, all while keeping total control of your dog and his leash. When it's time for your dog to run free, a quick flick of the clip releases him. There's nothing else like the Liberty Wristband. Order yours today at kennelkelp.com. That's Kennel and Kelp with a K. kennelkelp.com.
For people with physical challenges, walking a dog can be difficult, even dangerous, but the Liberty Wristband makes life so much easier. Developed by a disabled veteran, the Liberty Wristband easily straps around your wrist, then uses a unique clip to hold your dog's leash tight, all while keeping both of your hands free. Releasing your dog is easy too. With a quick flick of the clip, your dog is free. The Liberty Wristband, order yours today at kennelkelp.com. That's Kennel and Kelp with a K. kennelkelp.com.
Well, hello, yes, and good afternoon, and welcome once again to the BA Sales Kennel Kelp Holistic Healthcare Show, and I'm your host, Bill. Good Monday afternoon, July the 23rd at approximately 2:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In today's afternoon, early episode is a repeat of the good old trials and tribulations of a attempted AM show where the studio kicked out on me in midstream. So I actually did this show once this morning already, but I had to edit and refine it. So here we are again. So PH Sales, Kennel Kelp, Joint Marketing, and Cross Primal Life Organics, and CTFO cannabinoid oil. And what I'd like to do is follow the format that I usually do with these shows. The last few weeks, for those of you that have followed me, has been pretty matriculated, and I've broken from the norm, so we're going to get right back to the regular regime, starting out with a joke of the day. Joke of the day today is, why are frogs always so happy? Because they eat whatever bugs them. Symbols. I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your waiters and waitresses. Okay, thought of the day. Dogs are the leaders of the planet. If you see two life forms, one of them's making a poop, the other one's carrying it for him, who would you assume is in charge? That's from Jerry Seinfeld. The prayer of the day is the following. For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you to fight for you against your enemies, to give you victory. That's from Deuteronomy 20-4. Do not look at prayer life as a small ministry of no importance. The enemy knows full well how mighty you are in pulling down his strongholds, and he will try to intimidate, discourage, defy, divide, or defeat you. Don't accept his lies. Doubt, deception, discouragement, division. It's time for the church to stop accepting these enemy strikes as natural. Spiritual warfare is a reality that the church must face. It won't go away on its own, but it can be dealt with through prayer. Love God with all your heart and abide in him. Loving and abiding in God is so important in order to see answered prayer. I am personally by nature a warrior. But my relationship with God is the best antidote against the enemy's flaming missiles. We must know God intimately. We must know our God intimately and abide in that intimacy daily. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be given you. Okay, that's from John 15:7. And we're going to get right into the subject at hand. We're going to do an outtake about the small business opportunity that I'm currently offering through CTFO. Carbanoids, free website, no overhead. Listen in, and I'll be right back.
Hi, this is Sandy Botkin, author of the best-selling book, Lower Your Taxes Big Time. Over the past 20 years, I have taught thousands of home-based business owners how to save millions on their taxes. I spent 3 years in the tax department of the international accounting firm Touche Ross, and also 5 years as a legal specialist in the Office of the Chief Counsel for the Internal Revenue Service. Currently, I'm the CEO of the Tax Reduction Institute. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to explain why you'd be brain dead not to have a home-based business. I believe you will find that this is going to be the most important 4 minutes of your life when it comes to your financial future. So you may want to take some notes and put aside anything that might distract you. First of all, I want to emphasize something right up front. The rich know something that most people don't know. They have a secret. And the secret is that we have 2 tax systems in the United States. Now, when I say that, most people think that there's one for the rich and one for the poor. That's not quite true. There's one to make you rich, and then there's one to make you poor. There's one for employees, which is designed to take your wealth and make you poor, because you are taxed on $1. And then there's one for self-employed individuals, which is designed to create economic growth. And the reason for that is that small business generates over 70% of the job growth in North America. It is not IBM, it's not Microsoft or American Airlines, it's small business. So Congress passes good tax laws for small business. In fact, the important point is that small business get to take deductions first before they pay any taxes, unlike employees who have to pay taxes on $1. You can save big money by taking advantage of these good tax laws. And these laws are available to you in business, whether it's in full-time in business or part-time or just in your spare time. It doesn't matter as long as you run your business with an honest expectation of profit, which means you're really trying to make money. In fact, if you know what you're doing in a small business, you have the potential to write off part of your house, your spouse, the equivalent of your kids' education and weddings. I'm not kidding when I say that, by the way. You can set up a pension plan that makes any government plan seem paltry by comparison. The potential is just enormous. Good proof of this was illustrated by a lady named Jane Bryan Quinn. Jane Bryan Quinn is a nationally syndicated economist. You may have heard of her. She is a nationally known commentator on personal finance, with books and columns read and trusted by millions. She did a study of a couple who made $40,000 a year. And $40,000 didn't go that far. So the husband said to the wife, honey, you got to go out and get a job, which she did, and she made an extra $20,000. Now they're looking at their bank account, and they see no difference at the end of the year. I mean, she's making $20,000 more than she made the year before. What's going on? Did you ever hear that you have to have 2 incomes to make it in this country? Do you know why? You're about to get a 6-month financial planning course in the next few minutes. Follow along as I show you why the extra job was the wrong decision. The following example is based on 2009 tax rates. On that $20,000, they have to pay $4,845 in new federal and state taxes. Most of that was non-deductible. They have to pay Social Security of 7.65%. on $20,000, that's $1,530 of Social Security, which is non-deductible. We assume that they drove 10 miles a day round trip. And that's probably pretty conservative, I think. But let's go with that. 10 miles a day, round trip, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, and IRS's current 55-cent a mile rate. That's $1,430 of commuting, which is non-deductible. We assume lunch is at work, and we assume that they spent $7 a day, 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year. That's $1,750 of lunches, which is non-deductible. We assume that you have to have clothing, better clothing, in fact, if you're working, more upkeep, because now you're working, you're going to have more dry cleaning, and that's gone up by at least $1,200 over not working. And finally, with both spouses working, you think they want to cook? Heck no! They want to eat out, where their food costs have gone up by at least $2,000. And what about child care? I bet you they spend at least $125 a week in our example. I'm not sure where you can get child care for 3 kids for $125. But $125 a week, 50 weeks a year is $6,250 in child care. Most of that is non-deductible. In fact, we're going to get a little bit of a credit on that. Out of the $20,000 that they've earned from a part-time job, they are only left with a staggering $995 a year. They're putting in tons of hours working. They're putting up with a commute. And they're putting up with a boss that is spelled backwards, double SOB. You know, I know it sounds funny, but it really isn't. And people are working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and nobody is able to watch the kids. So what's the answer? The answer is to take advantage of the greatest tax write-offs available in America. And that is by having a home-based business and working that business like a business. Nothing can be better than that. Because if you know what you're doing, you can write off, as I mentioned, part of your house, your spouse, the equivalent of your kids' education and weddings. You can set up a pension plan that makes any government plan seem paltry by comparison, and there's much more than just the tax benefits. For example, you get tremendous time freedom. You can work out of your home. You dictate your own hours and not be subject to the boss's whims. If you need to go somewhere, or go to your kids' basketball games, or go to your son's or daughter's music lessons or concerts, you can do that. There's no commute. There's no liability, or very little liability with home-based businesses. You don't have any employees, and you can make unlimited income. That's probably the most important factor to have a home-based business. There is no glass ceiling of any type. Having a home-based business is probably the smartest thing that anyone can do. And what amazes me is that people will work overtime to try to get ahead in the company, when frankly they should be putting in as little time as possible to avoid getting fired and getting a part-time home-based business going. Who knows? Maybe that business will generate enough money where you can quit your job altogether. Wouldn't that be nice? That's the point. Having a home-based business will generate enormous benefits for yourself and your family. It's something you should really consider, and it will make your life a lot less taxing. I would strongly encourage you to carefully evaluate and get started with your own home-based business today. The tax benefits are incredible, but a home business has so much more to offer. Extra income, being your own boss, financial security, setting your own hours, working from the comfort of your home, more time with family, and the list goes on and on. Most importantly, you are working on your dream instead of someone else's. Now that's a beautiful thing.
Okay, folks, that's obviously an expose about the advantages tax-wise for running a home business, and I'm here to attest that Graham and I, those of you that are followers of the show, you know Graham is my affectionate name for Grammy, my wife, Kathy. In all candor, my small business over the last 10 years has been the best hedge against taxes. One of the main reasons I continue to do it, there are huge home-based tax write-offs, and actually the percentile of employers in the country now are, I think, up to 70% are home-based in nature. So I don't want to get into that statistical data, but I wanted to cover that quickly, and I want to do another expose expose about the opportunity itself, so you can listen to that as well. So I'm going to cue that up, and then I'll be back and I'll talk about Trina Felber and Josh Felber a little bit, a couple of outtakes from their media coverage. Trina's a renowned skincare specialist and nurse in the burn unit. Thus is the relationship that I'm trying to connect. They would have an affinity for the medicinal value of these cannabinoids and CBD oil. And here's the expose about the family opportunity, and I'll be right back.
They do it to improve their income, their quality of life, to have more time to spend with their family, to have more freedom to do the things they enjoy. They do it because they realize there's a better way to get what they want out of life. And for millions of everyday men and women just like you, there is. Stay tuned through the end of this presentation, and you'll see how that's really true. Believe it or not, over 40 million people now work from home, and every 6 seconds, another person joins them. That's because it has never been easier, more affordable, or more flexible to start a home business. Better yet, you'll find out how so many people have found success doing it. You're about to find out why. Consider this. Whether your goal is to earn an extra $500 a month to pay off credit card bills or a mortgage, an extra $5,000 a month to supplement or replace your income, or a 6-figure yearly income that allows you to walk away from your job forever, this company is making it happen. And our system is making it easier than it's ever been. In fact, people who have never earned so much as a dime from home before are getting involved. It could be the teacher at your child's school, a waiter at your local diner, even your neighbors across the street, and they're earning significant income with us. That's because there's no special skills or experience needed. There's no boss to answer to, no set hours or schedule, no need to sell to your friends and family. In fact, there's no face-to-face meetings or selling required whatsoever. If this is starting to sound a little too good to be true, let me explain. There's a reason more and more people are turning to home businesses today than ever before. That reason is the Internet. Of course, the Internet certainly isn't new, but the number of people using it and the number of ways to reach those people is expanding more rapidly than you can imagine. While most companies are playing catch-up when it comes to the Internet, we're already there. We're as savvy as it gets. So much of what was once necessary to run and build a successful business from home, we now simplify or altogether automate with a plug-in-and-go system that took millions of dollars in testing and infrastructure to create. Even better, some of today's most successful Internet marketers are behind it. This doesn't just make starting a business easier for you, it makes it a lot more profitable as well. Imagine being able to see results in days, not months. And imagine a business where you can make money while you sleep. The fact is, the Internet is creating millionaires, and we're continuously finding better and easier ways to leverage it that anyone can tap into and profit. Combine all this with a groundbreaking concept, tremendous demand, and one of the most respected and fastest growing companies in our industry, and you'll know that our success is no accident. We're writing one of the most talked about success stories in a long time, and today you'll have the opportunity to come along for the ride. Now, imagine being able to work with a team of people just like you, the same humble beginnings, the same desire to succeed, people who are changing their lives doing something positive and something they enjoy. And imagine being handed the same proven blueprint we use, so there's no guessing and no need to reinvent the wheel. Well, we have that system. It impacts real people, does real business, generates real recurring income, and we help you execute it so you can start earning as early as day one. That's what we do. We have every reason in the world to help you succeed. That's because the more successful you are, the more successful we are as well. So who are we anyway? Well, that might surprise you, too. In our ranks are some of the most supportive and successful leaders in the industry, and rising stars who are being talked about and written about in magazines and newspapers across the country, both for what we've accomplished and the number of people we're helping along the way. But what people find most surprising about this business is that being successful doesn't mean we're big-time business school-trained executives who wear suits and carry briefcases. In fact, we're quite the opposite. We're just regular men and women who made a simple choice, that we want more out of life than a long commute, a difficult boss, and the feeling of being overworked and underpaid. Like Rachel, whose motivation was a 65-hour-a-week office job that was wearing her down and leaving her too little time to spend with her family. She walked away from it just 14 months after starting her home business.
I was making a decent living, but I was just working too hard and giving up too much to get it. So to have come across an opportunity to exceed that income in such a relatively short amount of time, it's just such a blessing to me and my family. My most recent check was for a little over $15,000, and this is definitely just the beginning.
Then there's Jordan, a construction worker who rarely used the internet for anything other than email, but started his business with just the few hours a week he had, and together with his wife, built a $4,700 a month income in under 6 months.
Anyone can do this. My wife actually jokes I'm proof of that. It's just a remarkable company. The support is incredible, and it's changing our lives.
Susan was a work-at-home mom from Tampa who went from living paycheck to paycheck to earning an incredible 6-figure income in less than 2 years.
Well, we just got back from our second family vacation this year. What's amazing to me is to be able to do this with a business that lets me pull up a chair on the deck and work while my kids are playing in the yard. It's just an amazing feeling to enjoy and feel this good about what you do.
If simplicity and flexibility are what you're looking for, this business was created with you in mind. It's the cornerstone of our business and why it's possible to see real results in such a reasonable amount of time. In fact, many of us are earning a few hundred to several $1,000s a month, working just a few hours a week in the evenings or over the weekend. And we can show you how many of our team members are pulling in a hefty 6-figure income, working just 20 to 30 hours a week. Imagine the ability to work less and make more. The security to start saving for retirement or for your child's college fund. The freedom to stop worrying how bills will get paid. The excitement of being able to work in your pajamas and earn enough to take vacations, upgrade a home, and afford things most people can only dream about. We're living proof that when you team up with the right company, the right people, and the right system, it really can happen. And it can happen to you. So, is it your turn? If you've ever dreamed of finding the right opportunity to work from home, take the next step and learn more about the incredible company we've partnered with. See what's driving our explosive growth and why the best is just around the corner. Discover how you can turn just a automobile week into an income stream that can grow when you're working and even when you're not. So go ahead and take the next step. There's no obligation. It's free. And the most exciting details are just ahead. Carnegie, who wrote How to Win Friends and Influence People, wisely said, people rarely succeed unless they have fun in what they're doing. Perhaps that's why every day more and more people are making the choice to start a home business. They do it to improve their income, their quality of life, to have more time to spend with their family, to have more freedom to do the things they enjoy. They do it because they realize there's a better way to get what they want out of life. And for millions of everyday men and women just like you, there is. Stay tuned through the end of this presentation, and you'll see how that's really true. Believe it or not, over 40 million people now work from home. Being successful doesn't mean we're big-time business school-trained executives who wear suits and carry briefcases. In fact, we're quite the opposite. We're just regular men and women who made a simple choice, that we want more out of life than a long commute, a difficult boss, and the feeling of
check was for a little over $15,000. And this is definitely just the beginning.
Then there's Jordan, a construction worker who rarely used the internet for anything other than email, but started his business with just the few hours a week he had, and together with his wife, built a $4,700 a month income in under 6 months. Anyone can do this. My wife actually jokes I'm proof of that. It's just a remarkable company. The support is incredible, and it's changing our lives. Susan was a work-at-home mom from Tampa who went from living paycheck to paycheck to earning an incredible six-figure income in less than 2 years.
Well, we just got back from our second family vacation this year. What's amazing to me is to be able to do this with a business. That lets me pull up a chair on the deck and work while my kids are playing in the yard. It's just an amazing feeling to enjoy and feel this good about what you do.
If simplicity and flexibility are what you're looking for, this business was created with you in mind. It's the cornerstone of our business and why it's possible to see real results in such a reasonable amount of time. In fact, many of us are earning money in hundreds or several. You probably know this. Maybe they've approached you about an opportunity to join them? Or perhaps you heard about a work-at-home opportunity on the internet. If you're not familiar with the home business or network marketing industries, it's perfectly understandable that you may have some questions. Questions like, what is the home business industry? What does network marketing actually mean? How does it work? Is it legitimate? And the most important question might be, how do I make money? Over the next few minutes, we're going to answer these questions and many others. At the end of this short presentation, you will have a complete understanding of how this industry works, how you can make money, and you'll know if this industry is right for you. So sit back, relax, and let's begin. There are basically 3 ways you can earn money. First, you can work for someone else. You have a job. Essentially, you agree to trade your time for a salary or an hourly wage to build someone else's business. They decide the role you perform, the hours you work, the length of your employment, and the value that your time is worth. Jobs are the most common, but often the most limiting ways to make money. The second way you can earn money is with a profession. Some examples would include doctors, lawyers, or engineers. In this case, you get a higher education or develop a specific set of skills or knowledge, and you're paid for those services. Professional services often offer a higher level of compensation, but come with longer hours and a greater commitment. They tend to require ongoing training and a significant investment of time and money. Now, the third way you can earn income is what a lot of people dream about. That is, being your own boss. You would argue that this is the most exciting, flexible, and rewarding way to make money. In this model, you are no longer building someone else's dream, but rather your own. The key benefit of being your own boss, and this is important, is that you have the opportunity to leverage the efforts of others to accomplish more and therefore earn more than you otherwise could on your own. This is how people improve both their financial freedom and their time freedom. Unlike a job in which you trade your limited time for a set amount of money, business owners can turn other people's efforts into personal potential. We'll talk more about this in a few minutes. So, there are 3 ways you can earn money: work for someone else, become a professional, or be your own boss. Let's focus on the home business industry. The first question to answer is, what is a home business? I mean, it sounds pretty self-explanatory, right? But the reality is that this industry is often misunderstood. Did you know, for example, that according to a recent report released by the United States Census Bureau, that 49% of all U.S. businesses are home-based? There are over 20 million home businesses in the United States alone, with a new one started every 6 seconds. Worldwide, it's a staggering $427 billion a year industry. Now, as the name implies, a home business is any business that an individual can operate from their home. Certainly, that includes many traditional businesses like web design, fashion, tailoring, technical services, repair services, and many others. But what we're interested in today is a very unique and rapidly growing subset that has a distinct set of advantages over the more traditional businesses. For example, unlike the other businesses mentioned, subset typically requires no training or past experience, very little startup capital, and there's no accounts payable, no accounts receivable, no inventory. There are no employees, nor the headaches, expenses, licenses, certifications, and overhead that come along with a traditional business. The kind of home business we're going to talk about, you can work part-time, full-time, or even just in your spare time. You're the boss, so you decide. In short, the home business we're interested in offers far greater flexibility, it eliminates many of the costs, expenses, and other drawbacks of a traditional business. And yet, it offers tremendous potential, often with less invested. You'll see why that is in just a few minutes. So what is this business called? It's known as network marketing. What is network marketing? What does it mean? Well, it may surprise you, but it is something that you already do every day. Network marketing simply means word-of-mouth advertising, essentially recommending something to someone else. If you take a moment to think about it, this is something that we all do on a regular basis. We refer friends to our favorite restaurants, movies, and vacation spots. We refer books, stores, doctors, and any number of products that we like to people we know. It's simply part of our nature. So the fact is, we are all technically network marketers. It's just who we are. The difference is, most of us don't get paid to do this, but some people do, and they get paid very well. As you'll learn in a moment, they are compensated for far more than just their personal recommendations. Let's look at an example. Let's say you refer your favorite restaurant to several friends. They decide to go there and enjoy a great meal. Some of them enjoy it enough that they go again and again. They bring friends, they tell others too. That's a lot of business resulting from your recommendation. Now, is the restaurant owner going to compensate you for referring him business? Will he reward you for your referrals or every time those people return? Of course not. Even though you did provide the word-of-mouth advertising, and advertising costs money, right? How about a book publisher for referring your favorite book to a neighbor who goes out and buys it? Are they going to send you a check in the mail? Not likely. Well, in the network marketing industry, this is exactly what you get paid for. Very well, in fact, for simply doing what you already do. But it goes much deeper than that. We'll explore the exciting nature of how you get paid in network marketing in just a few moments. Before we cover how you make money, let's put the industry in a very clear perspective and understand why so many great companies choose the network marketing model in the first place. When a company has a product or service they need to take to market, that is, get it to the end user, they face a very big and very costly challenge. Now, they can hire salespeople to sell their product, train them, equip them, put them in an office, pay their salary, and cover their expenses. Or they can open stores and sell their products from traditional brick-and-mortar storefronts. Or they can cut their margins even further and have their products sold in other stores. Now, with all the big expenses these options carry, comes yet another very large expense: advertising. Building a brand and exposing it to the masses is no easy task. With just one 30-second TV slot costing potentially tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars, plus radio, magazines, newspapers, billboards, direct mail, and so on, it's no surprise that advertising is one of, if not the, largest expense of a company. Worse yet, all these expenses are incurred before a single product is sold. Enter network marketing. A business model that doesn't just eliminate advertising expenses, it also eliminates the tremendous costs associated with hiring, training, and paying a sales force, or opening stores, or courting suppliers. Instead, they just pay you. It's brilliant if you think about it. The company pays out after a sale is made rather than risking huge sums up front. They don't have to advertise, and the resulting profit margins are dramatically higher. That leaves a lot of money on the table for people like you. In fact, it's not unusual for companies to pay out close to 50%, even 60% of the profit revenues they bring in. With some network marketing companies doing in excess of tens, even hundreds of millions of dollars every year, that's a big piece of a very big pie. Now here's where it gets really exciting. Since network marketing companies don't advertise, and you are but one person, they attain widespread exposure another way. The result is that you are not only compensated for your personal referrals, but also for the viral exposure your referrals create. Think about it like this. Imagine someone shares a great online video clip with you. You watch it, think it's great, and forward the link to people you know. Then, many of them do the same. Then those people do the same. And before you know it, that video has been seen by people throughout the world. A little website called YouTube can credit this specific phenomenon for ranking it among the 5 most trafficked websites on the entire internet. This is known as viral marketing, and we all do it every day. Network marketing works on the same concept. The goal is to have your referrals turn into many more referrals and product sales, spreading from one person's network to another to another. To encourage this viral exposure, network marketing companies compensate you not just for finding new customers, but for finding new referrers of their product, who in turn find new customers and referrers as well. However, this model is not unique to network marketing. Let's consider Sue, a real estate agent and the owner of a real estate firm. As an agent, Sue makes money when she sells a house. However, as the firm owner, she also earns income whenever any real estate agent in any of her offices sells a home. Network marketing simply gives regular people without a product or professional skill set of their own this very same opportunity, the opportunity to own a business that leverages the efforts of others. This is just one of the many beautiful aspects of the network marketing industry. The company is more efficient, the distributors earn money for doing something they already do, sharing with others, and the end customer wins because they get access to products and services from people they know and trust. With this model, everyone wins. You may not recognize many of the companies that use the network marketing model for 100% of their distribution, and there's a good reason for this. As we just explored, these companies don't use the more traditional sales channel methods. They don't advertise through the conventional avenues like TV, radio, magazines, and billboards. So many of them are not as recognizable to the average person. They rely on word of mouth for their advertising. In other words, unless you've been told about them, you may not recognize them. But even with that said, let me ask you this. Do you recognize these companies? IBM, Gillette, Colgate-Palmolive, AT&T, Avon, or Tupperware? How about General Electric, Citibank, Xerox, Texas Instruments, or Mary Kay Cosmetics? Well, these companies distribute some, or in a few cases, all of their products through network marketing. Billionaire investor Warren Buffett owns several network marketing companies, and many network marketing companies are publicly traded in the stock market as well. The fact is, network marketing is 100% legal, legitimate, and a respected business model. So long as the companies engage in the sale of real products with real value to the marketplace. In other words, there has to be real demand and real value beyond just the opportunity to make money. The confusion often comes from what people know as a pyramid scheme, a completely illegal situation in which new people are recruited to pay the people above them, with no real value trading hands. Ultimately, the people at the bottom are left holding the bag with nothing to show for their efforts. As with any opportunity, evaluate the one you are considering carefully. If it's hard to see why someone would want the product other than to make money, stay away. Otherwise, you can rest easy knowing that network marketing is an honest, legal, and opportunity-rich business model that attracts more and more people every year. Have you ever wondered why some people make $20,000 per year while others are able to make $20,000 per month? They're both working with the same 24-hour day, right? Obviously, whoever creates greater value from the time invested makes more money. It's that simple. Well, network marketing offers three distinct advantages in this respect, each of which enable you to create far more value with the same amount of time. These cornerstone concepts will forever change the way you think about making money. They are known as residual income, compounding, and leverage. Owning a home business in the network marketing industry provides numerous benefits and rewards. Among the biggest are the ability to build both financial freedom and time freedom. In other words, greater income and more time to enjoy it as well. Now, there are essentially two kinds of income, linear income and residual income. And only one of these produces this attractive result. Linear income is what you get from a job. You work and you get paid. You don't work and you don't get paid. In essence, you're trading the limited time you have for a fixed amount of money. To earn more, you need to work more hours, hold out for a raise, or get a second job. With linear income, it can be very hard to get ahead because when the work stops, the income stops too. Now, residual income, sometimes referred to as passive or recurring income, is when you do something once but continue to get paid over and over again. With this type, when the work stops, the income can continue long after the initial efforts. Think about a subscription-based service like the movie rental company Netflix. Netflix works to generate new customers, and when they're successful, they continue to get paid month after month, year after year for the life of the customer. An insurance salesperson may get paid residually as policies are renewed. Someone marketing vitamins may earn residual income as customers reorder month after month. Residual income is the cornerstone of network marketing. So let's illustrate its power with a practical example and see how it works. Let's say you share a product or service with 10 people in January who make a purchase, and it's something they want each month. Those who found those customers in January, you'll be paid in February, in March, next January, and beyond for as long as they stay a customer. Your effort just produced an ongoing, continual payment for work that was completed months before. What a concept, right? Work once, get paid again and again. Now, there's nothing wrong with the one-time linear income, but given the choice, which would you prefer? Work hard and get paid once, or work hard and get paid residually month after month, year after year? As you can see, residual income is an important concept for building wealth. Let's take a look at another. The underlying engine that produces incredible success in network marketing is the power of compounding. Consider this. If I were to give you a choice between $1 million in cash or a single penny doubled every day for a month, which would you take? Well, if you're like most people, you quickly said, I'll take the million. And like most people, you'd miss out on a whole lot of money. Do the math and you'll be pretty surprised. That penny is 2 pennies on day 2. It's 16 cents on day 4, $1.28 on day 8. It's $81.92 on day 14, and on day 21, you're a hair over $10,000. And on day 28, you're over $1.3 million. Now, if our hypothetical month has 30 days, you're looking at over $5 million on the last day. Compounding is incredibly powerful. Network marketing capitalizes on compounding in 2 key ways. The first, you can credit to residual income. Because you're able to get paid month after month for work you do once, each month is an opportunity to build on the income you generated the month before. Your effort compounds on itself. Think of having the opportunity to get a raise in May, then again in June, and yet again in July, by simply doing exactly what you did the month before. Now, the second way is even more exciting. Let's take our penny example of compounding and apply it to an illustration of building a network marketing organization. If you enrolled just one new member into your business each month and you taught that new person to do the same and the duplication continued, you would have over 4,000 people in your group after only 1 year. In other words, if everyone shared the company's product with others and recruited just one new person interested in building the business every 30 days, the compounding effect would produce an organization of 4,096 people in only 12 months. And imagine earning a percentage residually on all 4,000 of those members each and every month. Pretty incredible. Now, the reality is that not everyone that joins your business will enroll their one person each month. Some people will do more, and some will do less. However, the power of compounding is truly a remarkable one, and one of the many reasons why people are able to supplement, replace, or even surpass a full-time income in a surprisingly short amount of time. The final concept we're going to explore, and perhaps the most important, is known as leverage. John D. Rockefeller, often regarded as the richest person in history, illustrated the concept of leverage best when he said, "I would rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts." To put it another way, money alone is nothing without the time to enjoy it. What compounding is to income, leverage is to lifestyle. Leverage is what gradually and increasingly removes personal effort from the income equation by turning other people's efforts into personal potential. Let's look back at a previous example. Sue was once a real estate agent. She worked hard selling houses to generate income, but then she decided to open a real estate firm. Now Sue has an office full of real estate agents who are all selling houses. Sue gets paid whenever any of them sells a house. Maybe Sue hires a manager to open another branch. Selling more property equals more money in Sue's pocket. By leveraging the efforts of others, Sue is creating time freedom. The less her income is tied to her personal production, the more freedom she has. This is the beauty of network marketing. When you start a network marketing business, you're immediately afforded this opportunity. You are your own boss. You're in control, and your own efforts will dictate your success. But that can change very quickly and in an amazing fashion. With the right company, you'll have proven products, an established reputation, proven tools, and a system at your fingertips. Together, they offer you the opportunity to build an ever-growing organization of eager business owners, each of whom have the same incentives and opportunity you have. Their efforts grow their business, and in the process, grow yours as well. In time, your income can become less and less dependent on the hours you personally work and more on the cumulative efforts of a team of people. Imagine having a team of 10, 100, or 1,000 motivated people. Compounding, leverage, residual income all work together. They provide a very unique and very powerful opportunity to not only build your income, but your time freedom as well.
Okay, folks, I wanted to comment quickly, and I want to stay with the theme of the show and get over to Trina Felber and Josh Felber in just a second. But I wanted to elaborate on those last couple of points about if you choose to exercise the option to entertain the business opportunity of the CTFO, cannabinoid oil business. But please do keep in mind the website is totally free. 30 days, no website fees. They don't ask you for any credit card information. It's simply a vehicle for you to use either as hopefully a reordering client. They do want that, but you can be a customer and enjoy the health benefits of all these fine products, the CBD oil, and it's a ground floor opportunity truly, especially to coincide with the new passage of the hemp law bill. And finally, the FDA having to admit, as much as they hated to, of the medicinal values that have been known from the from the hemp plant since biblical times. And I don't want to get too wrapped up on that here. Check out my archival shows where I got into deeper strata or layer to document those things, both here at the archival shows at my Blog Talk show and over at my Kennel Kelp website for the archival there. So here's some media coverage from Trina Felber, renowned skincare specialist, and I'll be back in a moment.
This is an invisible liner. They smile directly. It takes teeth like these and transforms them into those. Join more than 250,000 satisfied
Burgers for only $80 a month. SmileDirectClub.com.
You know, you've given us a lot of things to think about and talk about over the past several years. We love hearing what you want to know, and today is not an exception. Joining us, we do have our next guest, a skincare expert and entrepreneur, right here with us, and we're talking about something called skin food. And Trina Felber, I'm trying to get it right. I don't want to flub it up. I said Felber. We're so excited to have you here with us, and you're going to talk about some cosmetics. We use them every single day. We heard that, Americans usually put 3 types of cosmetics on their face every day, but we're not really thinking about what we're putting on our face, but we think about what we put in our body, but it's kind of interactive.
Well, it is, because your skin is your largest organ. And what you put on your skin does get absorbed, because there are medications. My background is in nursing, and there are medications that we give topically that get absorbed and have effects directly
But it's
in
so
the body.
true, though. You never really think about it like that.
So there are things in your skincare that you need to be aware of, because they could be making you sick. They can be making you look older than you want to look, and we all want to look younger, right?
Absolutely. So I love it when that's for my ID. I'm like, okay, yes, thank you.
So, yes.
And then, too, I heard they can also make you fat. Is that as well?
They can. It's very interesting. One of my first discoveries is that and I call it the fattening club. Ingredients are using products that contain ingredients that are have endocrine disruptors like parabens or phthalates. Endocrine disruptors disrupt the way your hormonal system works.
Oh, my goodness.
And your thyroid gland is part of your hormonal system, and it's responsible for your metabolism. So when you disrupt that using some ingredients, and you put these on multiple times a day, and they're in multiple ingredients
So
or are
are
products.
they in multiple and majority of products
And
out
the majority of products, yes, because they're stabilizers, they're preservatives, things like that they put in there. So you're putting them on multiple times a day, but they're disrupting your hormonal system.
Oh, that could explain why sometimes we're moody around here. Oh, my goodness. Okay, that's pretty large right there.
Right.
To have that going on. What else do you have? Because we need to know about all this
Okay,
now.
so pretty poisons is what I call the second one, and it's ingredients that can actually be making you ill or sick. They're ingredients that are known cancer-causing agents. They're neurotoxins. For instance, this deodorant has propylene glycol in it, which is actually antifreeze, and yes, it can cause cancer. So there are ingredients, and they're also endocrine disruptors as well. So you're getting a multitude of different kinds of ingredients that are causing you to be ill.
Okay, that's something you don't want any part of your body to touch antifreeze, let alone stick with you underneath your arms all day long.
Exactly.
And this is stuff we're just buying right off the shelf.
And it's in everything. It's in baby products. It's in moisturizers, shampoos, toothpaste. It's in everything. Yes.
Oh, my stars. No. Okay, and then now I'm getting a little frightened, but we do have a solution for us. We do have
a solution coming up, but this, I like to call this one cracks in the foundation, but it's in every product as well, and it's water, which most people don't really realize is not good for your outsides. A little bit is okay, and it's really good to hydrate your insides, but water is probably the #1 ingredient or the first listed ingredient in almost every product out there. What happens with water is it doesn't get absorbed by your skin. It actually evaporates, and as it evaporates, it takes with it your little protective oils. Your body makes protective oils that actually make you look younger and protect your skin. So as it evaporates, it takes with it, and the problem is some of these products can have 90% water in them.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of water.
Yes, I mean, we definitely want to be drinking it, but not necessarily putting it on
You
our
are much better off putting oils. If you want to look younger, what I love to tell people is the fastest way to look younger is to put oil on your skin, because oil actually gets absorbed and it's going to plump up your cells, and plumped up happy cells look younger.
Absolutely. So, okay, you found this all out. You were expecting your little girl.
Yes.
And things kind of, your mind starts racing, like, what am I going to do? Because you don't want to put this in your body, let alone have it go into your child.
Right.
We've got about a minute left. Let us know. So you've developed this product by yourself, which is amazing. Tell us a little bit about this and why it's better.
Okay, so I call it skin food. If you convert your thinking from skincare to skin food, you start to realize that what you're putting on your body is actually going to feed it instead of rob it of the nutrients. When you're putting ingredients like chemicals or toxins, it's not doing anything to feed your cells, but when you're putting food like oils and essential oils and herbs and actual food on your skin, you've got micronutrients like antioxidants that are actually going to help prevent aging. Vitamins, minerals, essential fatty acids that are wonderful, and they make you look younger, you'll feel healthier, and you're going to live longer.
Which is amazing because it is going to make you feel
Okay, folks, quickly, I wanted to interject about Trina and Josh Felber. Trina Felber. I go back to probably 2011 in my business relationships with Trina Felber. Initially, contacting her as a potential supplier for my sacred clays to ultimately be ingredients in her products, serving in my capacity as an ingredient broker, which I do with Michael King over the Vitality Herbs and Clays that I've talked about many times. My kelp is in those products and so on and so forth. I serve 3 different facets within my business. We'll get back to that in a moment. But I've known Trina, not personally. We don't go on vacation and go to Hawaii together. It's not that type of a thing, but she certainly knows of me. We haven't had the opportunity to talk personally for a while. I've had a dedicated page on my own website years past. Worked closely with Trina in the infancy of the company. Long story short, fast forward, I've been an affiliate, a member of their affiliate program, all those years, up to and including presently. I've done videos for their men's product to include their shave cream. That'll be on my products video page as I update my website. Point being, my affiliate relationships have been great over the years, but that's also, for those of you that are fans of the show and follow the show, as you know, at 2018, at the turn of the year, talking about my business plan of how I'm going to refine, and fast forward now into August, getting over the halfway point of the year, continuing to recap on what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, cutting back overhead, and so forth. I've used this affiliate program to sustain, and that's going to be part of my totally refined website moving forward to include this business opportunity, which I've chosen to do through CTFO. So if you choose the business opportunity side of the offer, I'll talk much more about how these affiliate associations can help you generate income while you're building the business on the business opportunity if you come on board. And I'll talk much more about that in a couple of issues coming up in the week on how my team, as I recruit players here on the management team at CTFO, get an appreciation from the parent website. I've talked about it before, of the compensation paradigm, not pyramid. Please read and get that distinction clarified. The paradigm on the compensation package is copyrighted, thus makes it a fair and equitable program. If you dissect it, take it around the block and look at the numbers and so forth, thus is why they give you the free website for a month to do so in quiet time, review the movies and so forth. I want to get back to the theme, but I wanted to interject that. I'll talk more about that in upcoming shows. I want to look at overall time remaining in this episode, trying to squeeze a lot of information in here today in this show. So on this studio clock, I have just about an hour left. Thanks for staying with me. For those of you that do, depending on where you check in, check out. What I would like to do now is continue with some more media coverage that Trina's done in the past, and I'll be right back to further elaborate about her husband, Josh, who has his own venture capital company, had many success stories. I reached out to Josh and via Trina to try to accentuate my affiliation with Primal Life, and I'm doing that on my stores page of my kennelkelp.com website. That'll be all readily apparent when you get there to do so. Here's another outtake from some previous media coverage for Trina, and I'll get back to with her full appreciation of being a nurse, working in the burn unit, feeding food to the skin. We had an media affiliation, and I have the proud distinction and honor of being mentioned in Trina's best-selling book, Beauty's Dirty Secret, as a preferred, one of several that she references, as a preferred paleo holistic healthcare provider for supplements and supplies for both animals and humans, and I'm very honored to be mentioned as BH Sales. That holds high regard for myself, and I appreciate it. This is an authority on skincare, the body's largest organ. I think they'll have an affinity for the appreciation of what the cannabinoids present, and I've reached out to Trina before in the way of the veterans programs that I'm trying to get off the ground with disfigured veterans and wounded veterans, and she would be perfect to retrofit into that scenario, helping out the lady veterans and the disfigured and so forth. But that's a subject for another time, and I'm hoping that we can co-joint, co-market. Thus is why I'm reaching out to Josh. Here's an outtake, and I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Nick Hansen, and welcome to Health and Wellness Today, the one and only place where we bring the top experts from all around the world directly to you. And today I've got just one of those experts, Mrs. Trina Silver. Trina, welcome to the show.
Hi, Nick. Thank you so much for letting me be here.
It's great to have you. So you are the founder of Primal Organics,
yes,
and you have kind of an interesting journey that took you here. So let's talk first about a little bit about your health background.
My background is in nursing. I'm a nurse, and my first job in nursing was in the burn unit, and I learned all about the skin and what destroyed skin can do to the body, how it affects the body and every organ of the body.
That's cool. And then I know as you were kind of transforming into motherhood, obviously, you were having a daughter, right? And you started asking some questions, didn't you?
I did. With my knowledge in chemicals and how chemicals affect the body, I one morning woke up, I was about 7 weeks pregnant, and I was in the exact same spot of pregnancy when I had miscarried my first pregnancy a couple weeks earlier. And I happened to be glancing down at my moisturizer that I was putting on my skin, and for the first time a light bulb went off, and I read the ingredients, and I realized they were chemicals. And knowing what chemicals can do and how they alter your DNA, how they alter your reproductive system, how they get into every tissue of your body, how they can manipulate your metabolism, I realized that I was polluting my baby. And I knew that instantly I had to change that. I wanted a toxin-free environment for my baby. I didn't want my baby born with these chemicals. So I ended up researching natural ways, natural ingredients, food products, and how I can feed my skin food products to get the same results.
That's interesting. And you call it skin food, which I love. And so tell us a little bit about I know you kind of then started looking even more about toxins in your body. Your husband, Joshua, so now he's one of the owners of one of the CrossFits in Akron. And so you guys started looking at the paleo lifestyle. So let's talk about how that all kind of fits in.
Yes, paleo. People get nervous when they hear the word paleo or primal. So I just want a disclaimer out there. When you hear that word, just know that it means real food. Food that was grown in the soil, or food that has eaten grass, such as grass-fed beef and that sort of thing. So paleo and primal is real food sources. So I took the paleo diet and applied it to my skincare, and we only use real food sources for our skin products.
And so what does that look like? I mean, so I use foods. Am I rubbing bananas on my face?
Sure. Yes. But what we do is we make moisturizers. We make all sorts of different products, body products, baby products, face products. We make makeup as well. And what happens is your skin actually is a living, breathing organ. It's the largest organ of your body. We all know, or should know, that what is absorbed by your skin becomes you. So everything you put on top of your skin becomes you. So if you're polluting your skin with ingredients that are toxic, you're polluting your entire body. So what we have done, or what I have done with Primal Life Organics, is I have found natural food sources that contribute the best nutrient-dense nutrients for your body and your cells, and what happens is your body can heal itself, and naturally, normally functioning skin is radiant and glowing.
That's a good thing. I think there's a lot of people out there who would like that. Now, I'm sure you've helped lots and lots of people. Do you have maybe a favorite story of a client you could share with us?
I do. I have a client, her name is Kimberly, and Kimberly is a beautiful college student. And she contacted me recently with a testimonial telling me that I have a product called Dirty Mouth Tooth Powder. And what it's made of is 3 types of clays that contain minerals that your teeth actually need. When your teeth become cavity-driven and break down and you get gingivitis and all sorts of discolorations, what's happening is that the things that you're eating and the things that you're putting in your mouth are actually leaching the minerals out of your teeth and causing them to become very, very brittle. So cavities can arise, including sugar. Sugar is a very bad ingredient. So what happens, what Kimberly's story is that all of her life she's had horrible teeth. She's had gingivitis. She's had bleeding gums. She's had breaking teeth, cavity-driven. She's had plaque buildup and discoloration, like yellowing teeth. So as a a last result, her dentist told her that by the time she was 20, she was going to need dentures. This is where she was in her life. So as a last resort, she found out about Primal Life Organics and my Dirty Mouth tooth powder, and she decided to try it as a last resort. She went for a checkup. Her last checkup, and her dentist was asking her all sorts of questions, like, what are you using? Your teeth have absolutely no more cavities. They're white, and they seem much stronger. And so far, she has not needed any kind of dental work, or she looks like she's in the clear. She won't need dentures.
Well, that's a great story. And I know that's just in the teeth. You have products that, I mean, how many products do you have, and what types of products are they?
We have all sorts of products. We have probably 97, close to 100 products. We're getting ready to roll out some hair products that are really interesting. We have a hair serum, hair sea salt spray, and a hair spray that is made all natural. We put no preservatives. We don't need to put preservatives. My company makes the products when you order them. I don't have products on my shelves. I have ingredients. The most nutrient-dense product has ingredients that are fresh. When a product sits on a shelf, it starts to break down immediately. So the longer a product sits on a shelf, the less it resembles the original product. So we make our products fresh when ordered. We make body products, face products, baby products, hair products. I have a dirty poo. It's a hair wash, and it's made from dirt. So you literally wash your hair with dirt or muddy water.
I'm a big fan of muddy waters myself, so I have to check that out.
Yeah, kids love it. My kids love it.
That's what they do. So tell me this, there's a lot of people watching this say, hey, I could use that. I would love to have some of these products. I really believe in being chemical-free. They might even already be eating paleo, but even think about the products they're putting on their body and on their skin. How can they find out more?
PrimalLifeOrganics.com is where you can find all of my products. You can also find me. I write for a blog, PrimalLifeOrganicsBlog.com. I write articles for CaveGirlSkincare.com. I also on Twitter and Facebook.
Very good. Well, thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you so much, Nick.
Okay, folks, I wanted to interject again doing this quickly. I think there's one more outtake I'm going to have for you in a moment about Trina, for those of you that might not be familiar with her, so you can listen in. But a couple of other things that you may want to familiarize yourself with. I use several of her products. As I said earlier, the Gruff products for men, the shave cream. I use the tooth powder myself. I've talked about that extensively. I've talked about how my own dentist, where I just had amalgam fillings from days of old yanked out of my face and just got a partial plate in, and how they commented on how strong my adjacent teeth are and how they asked me what I do and keep up my teeth. They're always asking me, and I tell them. I'm a philosopher, and I practice Eastern medicine against Western medicine, and all these herbs, and they come from the earth, and paleo, you're feeding your skin with food. Trina knows her stuff. It's well documented. So I just wanted to let you know that I use the products. My wife uses the coffee bean serum. We use the products. We believe in the products, just like I use my Kennel Kelp products and all of the products that are documented that I use on myself and my pets, to include these CTFO products that I just came on board with less than 3 weeks ago. And I've talked about the pain relief rub, the emu cream, the cat treats. These are products that I've tried. I just got my own bottle of cannabinoid over the weekend. I'll be talking about that. So I'm trying to squeeze a lot into this show. Bear with me. I believe that's probably going to be the last outtake for Trina in appreciation of time. But check out my dedicated website page. And for a moment, I'm going to click an outtake from another show while I try to retrieve another piece of information about Dr. Sulak from a show that I did earlier in the week. So bear with me for a second. I'll be back from this outtake while I retrieve that information. Thanks for being patient. There's a bonus at the end of the show for those of you that are hanging in here. There's about 50 minutes left. Thanks. I'll be right back.
So this is now October the 12th, 2010, and tonight's call is all about the happy clays, earthen sources bearing naturally occurring ormus elements. Now, the Ormus clays are a unique variety of clay, largely because there's a concentration of Ormus elements, monoatomic elements, in them that is beyond the norm. You'll find that a regular bentonite, a zeolite, any other volcanic material is going to have Ormus properties to it if
Yeah, I'd like a hot dog all the way, please.
Coming up. There you go.
Thank you. Ew. What is this?
It's a corn-based hot dog flavored tube shape thing. It's almost good. That'll be $4.50.
You know what? No thanks.
If almost good enough isn't good enough for you, why would it be good enough for your pet? Add Kennel Kelp to your furry friend's diet. Sprinkle on your pet's food. Kennel Kelp helps with arthritis pain and stiff joints. It can also reduce shedding, fill in missing areas, and improve their looks, helping pets show even more energy and have better attitudes. See results in 4 to 8 weeks. The good news is, Kennel Kelp isn't just for pets. It's good for you, too. Sprinkle it on your cereal, or use it instead of table salt when seasoning your food. Kennel Kelp is the holistic care solution for pets and their people. Safe for dogs, cats, birds, cows, chickens, reptiles, almost anything that walks, flies, or slithers. It's a holistic health solution for humans, too. To learn about their many products, visit kennelkelp.com. Get Kennel Kelp for a happier, healthier life.
Dog lovers, get the Liberty Wristband, the clever new hands-free way to keep your dog on a leash. Forget holding onto leashes or wrapping them around your wrist. The Liberty Wristband special clip lets you hook your dog's leash to your wrist for complete control while leaving your hands free. Carry your coffee, talk on the phone, all while keeping total control of your dog and his leash. When it's time for your dog to run free, a quick flick of the clip releases it. There's nothing else like the Liberty Wristband. Order yours today at kennelkelp.com. That's Kennel and Kelp with a K. Kennelkelp.com.
For people with physical challenges, walking a dog can be difficult, even dangerous, but the Liberty Wristband makes life so much easier. Developed by a disabled veteran, the Liberty Wristband easily straps around your wrist and uses a unique clip to hold your dog's leash tight, all while keeping both of your hands free. Releasing your dog is easy, too. With a quick flick of the clip, your dog is free. The Liberty Wristband, order yours today at kennelkelp.com. That's Kennel as Kelp with a K. kennelkelp.com.
One of the most common things we hear from patients is the same phrase. People repeat the same phrase. I've got my life back. This medicine or your office or this experience has given me my life back. Now I can go to work. Now I can play with my kids. Now I can enjoy my relationship. Now I can sleep at night. Now I'm actually happy that I'm alive. I'm glad to still be here on this earth. It's amazing. People are getting their lives back with the help of medical cannabis. After their initial visits, most patients are coming back to us, sending us emails or messages saying, I'm amazed. I had such a great experience. I didn't expect a medical provider to take this much time with me, to actually listen to me and understand what my problems are. I feel like I have a relationship with a great medical provider now. Can I come see you guys for primary care? We're doing this to help people. This isn't just about medical cannabis for us. There's a medical cannabis evolution that's happening right now, and someone has to be the stewards of that movement. So we're doing that from the medical perspective. We're helping people, we're helping patients, we're helping clinicians understand how to make this work. But it's not just about cannabis. This is about health. This is about wellness, about being able to enjoy your life and live life to its fullest. And when you come through our doors and have an experience with us, I guarantee you're going to leave with that feeling like you just saw someone that really cares about helping you improve the quality of your life. A lot of people can get results with cannabis even if they don't have the guidance of an expert professional like myself and the clinicians I work with. But to get the optimal results, to get the life-changing results, requires someone who knows what they're doing. You want a provider that has the clinical experience that can help you navigate all the nuances of cannabis, the different strains, the different delivery systems, the different dosages, the different approaches for all the various conditions cannabis can treat, have some MRI images of an infant with an aggressive brain tumor called a glioma, published in O'Shaughnessy, a medical journal of cannabis and clinical practice. Gliomas are aggressive brain tumors that are often difficult to treat with conventional measures. This infant was only treated with a high-concentrate cannabis oil applied to its pacifier. Here you can see the large white mass in the brain is the tumor. After 3 months, the tumor begins to shrink. And over the course of just a little more than a year, the tumor is no longer visible on the follow-up scan. The infant is developing normally and experiencing a high quality of life thanks to cannabis. Almost 1/3 of Americans will develop cancer in their life, and this doesn't include skin cancer. Unfortunately, we're likely to see these rates increase due to the nuclear fallout in Japan and increasing levels of carcinogens in our environment. While conventional cancer treatments have made some advances, they're still very hard to tolerate, causing numerous unpleasant side effects and often destroying one's quality of life. Frequently, I'm saddened when I see a person with a cancer diagnosis spend the rest of their lives in a miserable battle against the cancer until they die. I do believe the goal of cancer treatment should be to kill the cancer and cure the disease, but also to enhance the quality of life that's left, whether that's 1 month or 3 decades. Cannabis is one of the best treatments for people with cancer. It relieves both the symptoms of cancer and the side effects of cancer treatment, such as pain, weight loss, nausea, diarrhea, insomnia, neuropathy, depression, and fear of death. All of these symptoms respond surprisingly well to cannabis. And when a person can actually laugh, sleep, talk to their family and friends, and play and laugh, it makes all the difference. Beyond symptoms, cannabis can play a role in the cure of cancer. Many people aren't aware that the compounds found in cannabis have been shown to specifically target tumor cells, inhibit their growth and reproduction, prevent the formation of new blood vessels that see the tumors, and inhibit the migration of malignant cells from one site in the body to another. Many scientific studies have proven that cannabinoids can help defeat cancer, working in at least 4 different mechanisms of action. The goal of any cancer treatment is to create an internal environment that causes the cancer cells to die, but leaves the healthy cells alone, or even better, protects the healthy cells. This is exactly what cannabis does. The compounds in cannabis have been shown to have significant benefit in several cancer types, and more research is emerging all the time. This includes breast cancer, prostate cancer, colorectal cancer, skin cancer, leukemia, brain and nervous system tumors, lung cancer, pancreatic cancer, and many more. Cannabis can enhance the effectiveness of standard cancer treatments and improve one's quality of life. So if you or a loved one has cancer, please call our office immediately to find out more about the incredible benefits this medicine has to offer. Hello, I'm Dr. Dustin Sulak, the founder of Intimidate. We specialize in high-quality cannabis evaluation and integrative medicine. I've been practicing with medical cannabis for the last 4 years, and I've treated thousands of patients with different conditions. Recently, a lot of people have been asking me if cannabis can be helpful in the treatment of seizure disorders. I've seen dozens of patients, mostly adults, who have used cannabis in addition to anti-epileptic treatments, and they've actually had significant benefits, often being able to lower the dosage of the other treatments, and in a few cases, actually being able to discontinue the other treatments and use just cannabis. This makes a huge difference because cannabis is much safer and has much fewer side effects than the conventional anti-seizure drugs. Recently, there's been a lot of news press about pediatric use of cannabis for the treatment of seizure disorders. Because of these news stories, I've been getting a lot of new pediatric patients. These kids have terrible seizure disorders, many cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, and dialectical behavioral therapy, DBT. If you have access to these treatments, that's wonderful. They can really help you. And if you use cannabis in conjunction with these treatments, it's likely you're going to supercharge your results. On the other hand, licensed therapy. We're constantly exposed to reminders and prompts that will bring these feelings up in us and help us process the old trauma. Again, if you're using cannabis to treat PTSD, you're likely to feel better and you're more likely to respond to these reminders from your life that will actually help you get better, that will help you process those old feelings, release them, and move on. Some patients are concerned about using cannabis to treat post-traumatic stress. We've been told that cannabis is addicting, that it's a gateway drug to other harmful substances, and that it kills brain cells. I must agree there are some side effects from cannabis, but nothing like we've been told. Cannabis is about as addicting as caffeine, and while there are withdrawal symptoms from discontinuing cannabis after long-term use, they're very mild and well tolerated. The side effects of cannabis are also very mild and can usually be eliminated by fine-tuning the treatment. The old saying that cannabis kills brain cells is completely untrue, and a lot of scientific research has actually shown that cannabis promotes the growth of new brain cells and helps us make new connections in our brain, which facilitate new patterns of thought and new behavioral responses to our environment. Finally, cannabis is much safer than the conventionally recommended treatments for post-traumatic stress. There's no lethal overdose of cannabis. It's not associated with an increased risk of suicide like the first-line treatment for post-traumatic stress in conventional medicine is. There's no dangerous withdrawal effects. It's generally well tolerated, and many patients can use a very small amount of cannabis to get great results. I also hear some concerns from patients that they'd like to use cannabis to treat post-traumatic stress, but they don't want to be high or stoned all the time. But you don't have to be, and you can still get great results. There are strains of cannabis that are high in CBD or cannabidiol, and these strains don't invoke the intoxication that most people associate with cannabis use. There's also delivery systems that make it so you don't need to smoke cannabis. You can use a vaporizer, liquid extract called a tincture, capsules, edibles. There's many forms of cannabis that can be fine-tuned to fit you, to help you relieve your symptoms, to promote your healing, and to find balance in your life. If you or a loved one is suffering from post-traumatic stress, please call the office and set up an appointment with one of our compassionate and caring providers. We'll take the time to get to know you, and we'll do whatever it takes to help you navigate this very complex and sometimes confusing world of medical cannabis. We'll help you understand how to find the right strain, the right delivery system, the right dosage, and how to integrate your cannabis use with other health-promoting therapies. We will be in your corner for the long haul. We'll do whatever it takes to see you through this challenging time, to help you get past that trauma and return to who you really are. This is the topic of today's conversation, maximizing the benefit and minimizing the harm of medical marijuana. And I'm going to start off with an introduction about myself. But before I do that, really I'd like this to be a conversation. I'm very interested in your questions and in your personal experiences and your stories. I think that we all have a lot to share with each other. And one of the real problems that we've had over several generations with marijuana being illegal is that the wisdom hasn't been shared and passed on from the generation. So let's start sharing, ask questions, let's make this a conversation as much as we can while we get through some of this interesting material. I've been interested in marijuana for a long time, but once I started to learn more about the medical aspects of it, I was struck by what a wide variety of conditions it could treat and how many different people it could help at so many different levels. And so I started exploring more about plays out in our life, the experience of using marijuana, and the healing path of marijuana. So let's get started here. First of all, the plant. Marijuana is cannabis sativa. The part of the plant that the medicine comes from is the flower or the bud. It's a compound flower, many small flowers on one budding structure. This is a dioecious plant, which means it has male and female plants for the same species, and they're separate by plant, whereas a lot of plants will have male and female structures in the same plant. That can happen with marijuana, but it's generally separate. Sure. So a dioecious plant that becomes a hermaphrodite would have both genders on the same plant. That's right. Sinsemelia is a term that in Latin literally means without seeds. And it brings up an interesting point of why the marijuana without seeds is higher quality and more desirable for medicine. Basically, the medicinal compounds in marijuana are found in the oils of the plant. The plant uses them for defense against the environment, defense against free radical oxidation that can come from ultraviolet light from the sun and from invading organisms like bacteria or funguses or viruses. So there are healing compounds in the plant themselves found in the oils. Now when the female flowering structure hasn't been pollinated yet, it starts making more oils because it wants a piece of pollen floating through the air to stick to the plant and stick to the flower, get transmitted down into the ovary, fertilize and create a seed. That's how the plant survives. So when it hasn't been exposed to any pollen, it makes more oil and more oil and more oil. It's literally a virgin female reproductive organ that's wanting to be fertilized, which has, I think, some good metaphors for the capacity of this plant. It's the virgin female. Hemp, on the other hand, is the same species, cannabis sativa, pictured in the lower right. You can see it grows quite tall, and it doesn't have too much medicinal use that we're aware of at the moment. The fibers are incredible, though, for textiles, fiberboards, papers. We're not going to get into it, but this has been used for, since the 20s in Ford cars and so forth. Now houses are built out of it. Sure. There you go, Declaration. Or even I've heard the first version of the Constitution, right? So this is what rope always used to be made out of early papers. The seed, which you can find in either variety of cannabis, but is mass produced in the hemp, that's a high quality food product. Actually, there's very few foods in the vegetable world that have a complete profile of essential amino acids. That means that in nature, there are some things that we need to get from our food that we can't produce ourselves. There's certain amino acids, certain fatty acids that we just can't make for ourselves. Hemp happens to have all of those, all the essential amino acids and all the essential fatty acids, all in one food product. That's also true of soy, but to a much lesser extent with the essential fatty acids. And I'm not aware of any other plant product that has that type of profile. The other thing is that when you look at the seed, it's almost completely which makes it very efficient as fuel for humans. And it's also very efficient for industrial production of oil. When you press the seed, you get oil, and that oil is food quality, but it could also be used to make fuel, plastics, pretty much anything that we make from a hydrocarbon, anything that we make from crude oil that we drill out of the ground could be made from hemp oil, carbohydrate. All right, so the difference is just it's like breeding dogs, same species, they could breed with each other, but when you separate the lineage for so long, they can start looking different, having different morphologies. So yeah, you could take pollen from this plant and put it on this plant and it would pollinate, and that's, from a biologist's perspective, the definition of being the same species. Could they have viable offspring? And so yeah, they can. They're just different strains or different varieties, you could call it. Sure, so that's the other thing. Most hemp has barely any THC in it, if any. And the other thing about hemp is that the cannabinoid profile varies quite a bit because it's been bred for length and seed production and fiber composition. It hasn't been bred for its medicinal quality. So if you even went out to field and gathered these different plants, they would have quite a variety of cannabinoids in them, but not nearly as much as any medicinal plant. It's still interesting, though, to think about the cannabinoids in hemp. Any other questions about this brief botanical review? So here's a partial list of health conditions that marijuana can help. And I'm actually going to go through some of this. I know it's right out in front of you. Attention deficit disorder and hyperactivity disorder. ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease. It's a neurodegenerative disease. Alzheimer's, anorexia, anxiety, asthma, ataxia, which is a problem with movement and walking, bipolar disease, cachexia, which is wasting syndrome from not being able to eat or maintain nutritional status, cancer, chronic fatigue, chronic pain, cramps, whether they're abdominal or menstrual, Crohn's disease, diabetes, depression, epilepsy, fever, fibromyalgia, glaucoma, hepatitis, an infection of the liver, HIV and AIDS, incontinence, insomnia, migraine headache, MRSA, which is a methicillin-resistant Staph aureus. It's a bacteria that is resistant to some of our strongest antibiotics. Marijuana or cannabinoids, the compounds found in marijuana can kill it. Multiple sclerosis, nausea, neuralgia, neuropathy, Parkinson's, PMS, post-traumatic stress disorder, rheumatoid arthritis, sickle cell anemia, spasms, spinal injury, stroke, Tourette's, vomiting. It's a huge list, and I'm sure this isn't the entire list. I just included conditions, actually, that there's, at minimum, a drop of research that documents it, whether it's a case report that's been published or an animal study or even an in vitro study. All of these conditions have some scientific documentation that marijuana could be helpful in it. When I see this on the slide, when I see it in my practice, when I think about it, I'm at first skeptical of anything, any single substance that could purport to treat or cure so many different conditions. And I think we've seen snake oil remedies and fads, come and go that don't have a lot of scientific evidence to say this will cure everything. I do believe in the power of placebo. I think that's great. Truly, our bodies have an internal pharmacy that could come up with a cure to any condition. That's always documented. But still, I'm suspicious. Can one plant or one substance really treat so many different things, and how is that possible?
unified medical system. The new order didn't want competition, and cannabis was still preferred by many patients and doctors to the new miracle drugs, which were composed mainly of unnatural toxic substances. After lobbying by the pharmaceutical industry and fear-mongering misinformation by their donation-dependent allies in Congress, a federal law was passed in 1937 that prohibited doctors from prescribing pot in any circumstances under threat of prosecution, even though it was strongly opposed by the American Medical Association of its day. All cannabis products were removed from the U.S. pharmacopoeia and the national formulary by 1942. After alcohol was re-legalized, rather than go out of business, the massive bureaucracy of prohibition turned its operation to marijuana eradication.
It was Harry Anslinger, who was a racist, who was the head of the Federal Narcotics Bureau. He had been a prohibitionist, and then when Prohibition ended, they gave him a new job. And he was in every president's government from Roosevelt to Kennedy. Harry Anslinger was concerned that the use of marijuana by black and Latino jazz musicians was going to lead to increased crime and increased mental illness in the United States.
The Treasury Department intends to pursue a relentless warfare against the despicable, no-meddling vulture who preys on the weakness of his fellow man. This war on cannabis lasted until just a few years ago, when states started passing their own medical marijuana initiatives in order to once again provide pot safely to patients. California was the first U.S. state to pass a medical marijuana law in 1996. The intent was to give relief to patients suffering from chronic pain, AIDS, cancer, and other illnesses. Since 1996, 13 other American states have passed similar compassionate use laws. 12 more have ballot measures or legislation pending. Although cannabis smoke has been shown to have precancerous effects in animal tissue, countless studies have failed to find a link between cannabis smoking and cancer, and in fact have shown that heavy marijuana users have considerably fewer cancers than the general population. Dr. Donald Tashkin is a very good researcher at UCLA. He is a pulmonologist. His research demonstrated that the incidence of lung cancer in people who smoke cannabis was less than the incidence of lung cancer in people who smoke nothing at all.
They actually succeeded in studying about 600 lung cancer cases, about 600 head and neck cancer cases. And the bottom line is, we failed to find any positive association between marijuana and heavy marijuana use, which we define as within 10 years, even if you look at more than 60 years, 20 years.
Okay, for those of you that are still there, first of all, God bless you, and God bless your endurance and patience. Thank you. And I wanted to do about, in the last 10 minutes or so of the show, some housekeeping, some up-to-date stuff, and you can listen to the rest of the Dr. Sulak outtakes in my archival shows from, I don't know, you'll have to look at the bank of shows, like 2 or 3 shows ago, to finish listening to those. And what this is all entailing has happened so quickly with the CTFO of about 3 weeks ago when I came on board, and I've talked about my afflictions with arthritis and how bad it's debilitated my hands and how I became a legal medical marijuana cannabis certificate holder years ago, but how I prefer the vapes and these cannabinoids, because there's no THC in them, but there's a higher medicinal value, especially with the hemp-derived plant. And once again, to be redundant, for those of you that have heard this over and over again, with the passage of the hemp law, this is truly a ground floor opportunity for those that want to partake, but it is exactly what it implies. It's an opportunity. No one's forcing you to do anything. What I would suggest is take the free website for 30 days. Why wouldn't you do that? It's totally free. There's no website fees. There's no charges. There's no hidden charges. Go avail yourself the information via the links that I've given you. Just read it. They don't even ask you for a credit card. You can simply check that you want to be inactive and that gives you a month to familiarize yourself with the products, whether you want to be just a client, if you choose to do so, but you don't want to miss the medicinal value of these products as well. So you have the option to be either or both to your discretion, of course. The things that you want to know about as I've gone back out and started to make cold calls, I've talked about that after a 30-year absence of actually pounding the pavement and all that good stuff. I've already posed the question on some of the cold calls, different degrees of familiarity with CBDs out there. Some people have a full familiarity, some people have no ideas, etc., etc. So I jokingly said, I've talked about this T-shirt that I've had made up that says, "Are you in pain? ? Do you know anybody in pain? ? Do you have a pet that's infirm or in pain? ? And then this long, godforsaken BH sales, my CTFO, CBD.com website, because it's free. They're all universal. It's how you put your salutation, greeting, whatever you call yourself on BH sales, how I'm accepting members on my team. I've got a couple of people already. I've moved up the management paradigm. You want to avail yourself the time and avail yourself the familiarity. Look at the compensation package, especially if you're entertaining, looking for a part-time job, a stay-at-home position, what have you, and look at what does make this company different. Quickly, do your own homework. I've talked about this. Find out yourself. Look at the financial solvency of the ownership of the company. They're debt-free in 3 years. They accelerated stardom promoting this product in earnest at the turn of 2018, more so in February. They've been in business for about 3 years. They've come up with 24-plus products in a little bit of a time frame. They're writing over $1 million a month. They're solvent. They're real. The paradigm of the compensation package is copyrighted. That's paradigm, not pyramid. So please just avail yourself the opportunity to disseminate who's real, who isn't, what's fake, and to continue with my stories about cold calling. I jokingly said to some of the proprietors, I'm probably the 10th or 15th person you've seen today about cannabinoids, and you'll be seeing 15 or 20 more. And they started laughing and said, yep, you are. And I just simply left the information because it's going to take a familiarization process to avail the peripheral clients to take it upon themselves through the onus to do your own homework, and my job to bring it home for you as to what does make us different and substantiated compared to everybody else that's coming out of the woodwork for CBDs, again, for the ground floor opportunity and because of the hemp law. And this thing is taking off. It's changing medicine. This facility is a GMP facility. Do your homework if you're not familiar with it. I've talked about it before. I deal with another vendor that's a GMP facility. So it's all in my archival blogs, shows here over at my website. GMP, if you're not familiar with it, look it up. Good manufacturing practices. That's a great accolade to have. There's a litmus test of stringent rules and so forth. Find out about it. Ubiquitous audience, some of you could tell me about it. But, you know, it goes from A to Z. There's novices. There's people that are interested, aren't interested. Those that practice Eastern medicine versus Western medicine, that immediately eliminates half the audience. That's a good thing because I'm looking for people that are in tune to holistics. Look at the ever rising costs of insurance. Look at what it's costing you in the workplace if you do have a job. What does absenteeism cost a proprietor or an employer? I asked that of one of my part-time employees at my annual review when, first of all, they were shocked that I've been there for 11 years, plus going into my 12th year, and they were even more shocked that I have perfect attendance. So I posed the question back to them. I don't know. What does that cost an employer in the way of insurance, absenteeism, what have you? I've talked about how I take care of my granddaughter, made a conscious decision through my wife and left the corporate world, and we decided to raise my grandchild so the parents could work through the infancy and while they established their careers and so on and so forth. I haven't seen a traditional doctor in 30 years. My blood pressure's been 120/70 for the last 4 years running since I started to take this medicine and go holistic. I lost 40 pounds. I eat paleo. I eat healthy. I have all these people coughing, hacking, puking, what have you. I virtually never get sick. I just recently had a common cold via my granddaughter, and that's the first cold, I am a human being, that I've had in, 15 years. So this plays to a certain audience, and it will never play to another audience. But what I want to try to do, too, is eliminate all this negativity about everything out there. Nothing is for everybody, and there's nothing that's universal for everybody, and this isn't pie in the sky, and you're not going to retire and buy an island in the Caribbean. Nobody's saying that. Look at the paradigm. If you work it correctly, because it's a fair and equitable program, you can take it where you want to take it. Now, last but not least, please have an appreciation for the differentiation in the commodities when I use this next example. Okay? I'm not talking about makeup per se when I say Mary Kay. I'm not talking about makeup per se when I say Avon. And I'm not talking about plastic dishware when I say Tupperware. What I'm talking about is those companies are real. They're multi-billion-dollar industries, and they worked on the same premise: honest people, network marketing, and providing a service and a commodity, and the rest is history. So separate what's real and what isn't, and get by the negativity. And again, if this isn't for yourself, move right along, that's great. But you should do yourself a favor to look at the information and look at the potential opportunity. It would be a shame to leave it on the table, but nothing's for everybody, and we all perceive things differently. But read what the program avails if you partake. If you read the compensation package, if you pre-qualify, you get paid each and every Wednesday. But you don't just get a free website and throw it out on the Internet and expect it to start making you money. I mean, you do have to work it. So I try to be fair in the assessment. Are there people in there making six figures and then some? Yep. Are there people in between that make $25, every 3 weeks or whatever? Yep. And everything in between. And it's usually reflective of the effort that they've put in accordingly. So this isn't preaching or whatever, but in all honesty, I just want to get to the clarification that this is a viable option. Whether it fits your foot on the proverbial pair of shoes, well, that's what makes us all different. But please do not make it guilty by association, because this is a reputable company, financially solvent, and the free websites that they offer, they've already put into effect technology that's going into effect as early as the next couple of weeks to make it even more user-friendly still. Look at the marketing materials they talk about, the Wave beacon monitors. You can check out my archives here and at the show. If anybody in earnest wants to entertain this, I'm looking for team members, I'm looking for players, I'm looking for movers, I'm looking for shakers. And I'll work with you and I'll work for you. And that's it for today. Always remember that BH Sales promotes good health in all animals and humans. Thanks. And I'm building up the show. If you want to do something, you get a 5% discount by mentioning you're a fan of the show. Contact me at the Kennel Kelp Contact Us page. Bye-bye. Have a great day.